best fragrance releases of 2026 so far. Guys, can you believe it? We are mid-year already. Like, how did that happen? For sure, I have discovered a lot of new perfumes from the Middle Eastern market, affordable niche and luxury niche category. Today is a mix of everything, so you will see me talking about the best from the designers market, the best from the Middle Eastern market, and the best from the niche market. So yeah, having said that, it's going to be exciting and kind of long one. Before we start, I just want to let you know that I won't be deep diving when it comes to my descriptions of these fragrances because I have reviewed them already in the past. Also, I just don't want this video to be very long as well. If ever you want like an in-depth review of any of these perfumes, just search my name and the name of the perfume that you are curious about in the YouTube search bar for you to find my in-depth review of the specific fragrance that you want to know. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting with the best from the designers market so far, I only have one to feature in this category, as in my opinion, this is truly like the number one perfume release so far this year. And if you watch my channel, you probably know that I will be featuring Pure Musc Blanc for Her by Narciso Rodriguez. Basically, this is a super clean, fresh, aldehydic, kind of like laundry musky scent that I find incredible. The opening of this fragrance is quite aldehydic, very strong on that fresh, soapy laundry vibes. However, it dries down into a classic Narciso Rodriguez musk DNA, which we all love. I will say if you are missing the discontinued Narciso Rodriguez fragrance, then you gonna be so happy if you buy Pure Musk for Her, because in my opinion, they smell exactly the same in the final dry down. The only difference is that Pure Musk for Her has that fresh laundry aldehydic opening, a very sensual, clean smelling musk that lingers beautifully on the skin. This is a kind of scent that adapts to your skin, so it almost smells like as if your sweat is perfumed. Yeah, that's like the best way to describe it. It lingers beautifully in the air. It lasts for a very long time as well with moderate projection. I love it so much. It is the best perfume release from the designer's market so far, in my opinion, and I highly recommend it. All right, now let's talk about the best from the Middle Eastern market. And I would say I have tried almost like hundreds now from the Middle Eastern market. I have tried so many from Lattafa, Paris Corner, Arabiat Prestige, Khadlaj, and I narrowed it down to only four in today's video. So the perfumes that you're gonna see are the best of the best discoveries so far. Starting off with the fragrance that I'm wearing now, Marmara from French Avenue. First of all, I don't like this bottle, but the scent, guys, is so beautiful. This is my scent of the day, and I love how fresh, clean, smoked, and woody it smells like. To me, this is giving niche, rich amouage vibes, but it is not a dupe, in my opinion. Like a lot of people are saying that it's very close to Purpose 50, and it's not. This is not a dupe of Amouage Purpose 50 at all. If ever you're searching for a dupe of that perfume, Marmara is not it. However, Marmara is still fantastic as I find it very unique. It is fresh, a little bit powdery. I love how the saffron and black pepper gave this fragrance a different kind of rich freshness, and as it dries down it becomes somehow powdery, soapy at the same time with an underlying smoky incensey. Now this perfume is not for everyone. I would say it's not blind buy safe at all. It's complex. To me it smells like a niche scent, and I think that it is not duping anything. And I'm glad to discover a Middle Eastern perfume that is not actually exactly duping a niche fragrance. I think this is a very unique creation of French Avenue. I saw people comparing it as well to Bois Imperial. Like I can see like some similar vibes there. I noticed that mineral type of nuance probably are the same, and the smoky incensey factor coming from Amouage Purpose. However, Marmara is not a dupe of any of those. This is like a perfume of its own. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a complex, powdery, soapy, musky, smoky, woody scent to add in your collection. When it comes to projection, I'll say it lasts for a very long time on skin and on clothes. Projection is moderate. Once again, Marmara by French Avenue, and I find this fragrance to be unisex. All right, next up, once again, is from French Avenue, and this is Jasmere. If you watch my channel, I mentioned from the very beginning that Jasmere is one of the best discoveries so far this year, and I still didn't change my mind. This is a fantastic honeyed, soft, white florals, tea, musk scent that lingers all day long. If you are looking for a signature scent during spring and summertime, I highly recommend you Jasmere. It smells very sophisticated, elegant, and feminine. I will say the soft florals, particularly jasmine, is the main note that I am getting out of this fragrance. So imagine that jasmine honeyed with some tea nuance in the background. As it dries down, it somehow becomes soapy as well. So like it's floral, soapy, clean, musky scent that I know a lot of you will love. It smells amazing and lasts for a very long time as well. Now, when it comes to projection, I will say for the first 2 hours, this is quite beastly, especially if you overspray, and then it dries down to moderate. Once again, Jasmere by French Avenue, and I find this fragrance to be feminine leaning. All right, next up is from Khadlaj, and in my opinion, this is their best release so far this year, Panache Angel Dust. Now, this perfume is going viral for a reason, in my opinion, and it is another fantastic release from the Middle Eastern market. So basically, Panache Angel Dust is a dupe of the discontinued Libre Couture by Yves Saint Laurent, and I haven't tried that fragrance yet, okay? But I'm very familiar with the Libre DNA. As a matter of fact, I owned a Libre Le Parfum, and I will say that I detect the Libre DNA easily in Panache. However, with an added creamy vanilla and whipped cream. I love the fact that it has a creamy texture. So if you are like me who enjoys anything fresh, creamy texture, then you will definitely love Panache Angel Dust. I'm featuring it today as well because I'm just so glad that Khadlaj actually duped something that is needed in the perfume community because Libre Couture is discontinued already. And performance wise, this is fantastic as well. Lasts the whole day with strong projection for the first 2 hours until it becomes moderate. A beautiful, creamy florals, musky amber scent that is perfect as well as a signature scent. I love it so much and I highly approve the hype of this perfume. Once again, Panache Angel Dust by Khadlaj, and I find this fragrance to be feminine leaning. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that Jasmere is a spot-on dupe of Tilia by Marc-Antoine Barrois, by the way. So if you are looking for a perfect dupe of Tilia, highly recommend you Jasmere. All right, another one from the Middle Eastern market is Paris Corner's newest release, the Show Magnifique. Guys, this is a beautiful and outstanding floral, fruity gourmand. If you enjoy sweet and fluffy marshmallow scents, the Show Magnifique will be an easy brainer for you. As mentioned, this is very gourmand, very sweet. To me, this smells like as if Love Don't Be Shy by Killian and Yum Bougie Marshmallow by Kayali had a baby. It somehow smells like an orange and strawberry flavored marshmallow plus sweet orange blossom that is almost Candied. This, I would say, is for all the gourmand lovers out there. However, I think even if you're not a big fan of gourmand, you will love the Show Magnifique as well, because I'm not a big gourmand fan as well, but I love the Show Magnifique because I think the sweetness of the orange blossom marshmallow is perfectly blended with the orange and strawberry. It smells very niche as well. I can imagine the Show Magnifique like in a Roja bottle. That's how good the juice quality is in this perfume. And I also love the bottle. And yeah, considering that the price is only around $30 or 30 euros, I think it's fantastic. Highly, highly recommend it. Performance wise is fantastic as well, as this performed straight away after spraying. Doesn't need to macerate or anything. And also it is created by perfumer Gail Montero. So yeah, having said that, Paris Corner is really stepping up as well with their perfumers. And yeah, once again, cannot recommend enough the Show Magnifique by Paris Corner, and I find this fragrance to be feminine leaning. And last from the Middle Eastern market is my favorite release from Lattafa so far this year, and this is Angham Second Song. If you watch my channel, you know that I featured Angham Second Song as the best of Lattafa so far this year as well. And I just love this scent so much. What I'm getting from here are pear, orange blossom, peony, sweet praline, and vanilla. I love how sweet and feminine it smells like. Now, I mentioned sweet, however, don't think of it as like a gourmand scent. I will say it is like one of those captivating, fruity floral scent. If you love peony in fragrances, you will definitely love Angham Second Song. There's something light and airy about it, and I think it is because of that peony. That's why I love it so much. This is like a pear and peony dominant kind of a scent, and I love how it is sweetened up by praline and vanilla. Angham Second Song is definitely for someone who's looking for I feel pretty put together feminine kind of scent, and I highly recommend it as well as a signature scent. Yeah, that's how lovely it is. Performance wise, it lasts on me the whole day with moderate projection. Once again, Angham Second Song by Lattafa, and I find this fragrance to be feminine leaning. Now let's talk about some luxury niche. So I've been to Exxons this month. I have discovered so many new perfume releases, and on top of that, you know that I'm constantly reviewing new fragrance releases as well this year. So to come up with only five from the niche market is kind of hard for me. This was really tough. However, I managed to narrow it down to my top five so far. The first one is Dahab Absolu by Kajal. I only discovered it in Exxons this month, and I just love this scent. Wow. Basically, this is for all the rose scent lovers out there. This is a flanker of Kajal's Dahab, which is a very fruity, musky scent. Now, with Dahab Absolu, I will say it still has that fruitiness. However, it has added rose and caramel. The main note that I'm getting from Dahab Absolu is rose, followed by some tropical fruits, and I'm talking about like passion fruit, mango. It also has prominent apple. I would say very Kajal fruity style. So having said that, very sophisticated and luxury smelling fruity vibes, plus jammy rose sweetened by caramel. This is a fantastic luxury smelling rose fruity scent combo of my dreams. I told you guys that this is one of my best discoveries of Exxons as well this year, and yeah, it is because it is that good. So I highly recommend it. First of all, if you are a rose scent lover like me, I would say it's like the rose that I get in BDK's Impadia, so that type of rose added to tropical fruits and sweet caramel, plus that oak moss DNA of Kajal. I truly fell in love with Dahab Absolu, and it's definitely one of the best releases so far this year. Performance wise, it's fantastic. That's why it's here. It lasts on me more than 7 hours, and the projection is moderate. Once again, Dahab Absolu by Kajal, and I find this fragrance to be feminine leaning. Next up is a fruity scent. This is from The Gate, Paris, Silent Symphony. This, in my opinion, is the best pina colada scent that I have ever tried. And I have a lot of pina colada inspired scents in my collection. However, in my opinion, Silent Symphony is superior out of them all because to me, it smells like a very refined and luxurious pina colada scent. Yes, it smells tropical, but there's something about it that smells very refined and luxurious to the point that I can even imagine myself wearing it as a signature scent. It is that good. And also, I will add that the coconut in here is not that prominent. So I would say the main notes that I'm getting are pineapple and apple. The coconut is just lingering in the background. It is quite mossy and sweet as well. I noticed that I love a good fruit, moss, and caramel combo in my fruity scents. So if the sound of a tropical pina colada scent with an added green apple and caramel sounds appealing to you, then I highly recommend you checking out Silent Symphony. Performance wise, it is fantastic. It lasts more than 8 hours. It lingers and stays on clothes, guys. And when it comes to projection, it can be beast mode if you overspray. Yeah, once again, Silent Symphony from the Gate Paris, my favorite pineapple scent in my collection so far. And I find this fragrance to be unisex. The next fragrance is something that I don't own a bottle yet. However, I would definitely love to have a bottle of it. This is from Adamo Parfum, and this is called Romazzino. If you watch my channel and if you follow me on Instagram as well, you know that I consider Romazzino as one of my best discoveries in Essence. It is a fresh, nutty tea scent of my dreams. So it opens up very fresh because of the orange and bergamot in here. So it's quite citrusy. However, as it dries down, it becomes nutty tea scent. So imagine an uplifting tea that has some nutty nuances coming from the almond and pistachio. It is very unique. The final dry down of this fragrance actually becomes quite creamy and lactonic, and I just love how complex it is. I haven't smelled anything like it. I just love it when a brand pushes boundaries in making some complex fragrance that is actually wearable. Just think of it as like a fresh, nutty, powdery tea scent. I would say I'm quite reminded of how the tea is done in Remember Me by Jovoy. However, he put some pistachio and almond milk in it. That's how Romazzino smells like. If you love nutty, lactonic, complex scents, Romazzino will also be a winner for you. Performance is fantastic on this one. I only have sample size and I've worn it maybe like 2 or 3 times already, and I just love how it lingers in the air. I'm actually savoring what's left, and I'm sure be getting a bottle of Romazzino because it's that impactful to me. Once again, Romazzino by Adamo Parfum, and I find this fragrance to be feminine leaning. Next up is my best discovery from Essence this year. I don't have a full bottle of it yet because it's not yet released. However, it will be released by next month, I think. So this is Talisman by Welton in collaboration with Chris Collins. Guys, I don't know the full note breakdown yet, but all I can say is that it is one of the most luxurious, fresh tea musky scent that I have ever smelled. this fragrance opens up citrusy. I definitely get some bergamot and like maybe orange in here. Plus, it has that underlying kind of like suede nuance. Now, I think actually it is like saffron, but imagine like a clean smelling, rich saffron that almost smells like, yeah, clean leather. Yeah, as mentioned, I don't know the full note breakdown yet of this fragrance, so I'm just letting you guys know what I am smelling. So it opens up with that citrusy, clean saffron combo, and then it dries down into this addictive, clean smelling tea and like somehow powdery musk combo. I absolutely love it. This perfume is giving CEO vibes. It smells so good. And I love the fact that it somehow smells like powdery on my skin in the final dry down. It's not your typical fresh tea musky scent. Talisman to me just smells incredibly luxurious without trying. And yeah, I will definitely have a full bottle of this as well. Once again, Talisman by Welton, London, in collaboration with Chris Collins. And I find this fragrance to be perfectly unisex. I highly recommend it if you are looking for an effortlessly elegant and sensual tea musk combo to add in your collection. All right, and last but not the least is the best Tonka forward scent that I have ever tried, and this is Tonka Kumaru by Atelier Materi. If you watch my channel, you know that I hyped this fragrance the very first time that I tried it because it is so good. Now, I'm going to categorize it as an addictive, yet comforting gourmand. The main notes that I'm getting are definitely tonka and powdery bitter almond. The first spray of this fragrance smells so addictive and enveloping. It is that warm, powdery bitter almond along with spicy cardamom and bergamot. And then as it dries down, the tonka bean, powdery almond, sweet vanilla, and amber peeks through, giving this fragrance such a different kind of depth. It is something that I will definitely wear more when it is colder because it is such a warm and cocooning scent. If you are a big lover of tonka in fragrances, Tonka Kumaru is something that you should get your nose on. The tonka, vanilla, and almond combo in here is phenomenal. It reminds me somehow of Shaman d'Amande by Unowi Nomad. But I find Tonka Kumaru to be like a more of like a serious and more luxurious version of Shaman d'Amande. This is truly a captivating Tonka scent and probably my number one best discovery so far this year. Yes, you heard it right. Tonka Kumaru by Atelier Materi. Performance, it is great as it lasted me the whole day with moderate projection. Once again, Tonka Kumaru by Atelier Materi, and I find this fragrance to be unisex. All right, so that is the video for today, guys. Those are the best perfume releases so far this year. If ever you want a full depth reviews of any of these fragrances, I'm gonna link a playlist of all the new perfumes that I'm reviewing in my channel up in here. Let me know what is your top 3 favorite releases so far this year. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and see you on my next one. Bye!